All right, welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to move up to Phase 4 and get some of the first few things that we would need in Phase 4, namely the Alclad aluminum sheets and the aluminum casings. And in this episode, we'll be spending some time unlocking some more of the items here in the hub. And the first thing I'm going to want to grab is the Mark V belts.
Milestone reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark V. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations. Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
And while I'm waiting for the MAM to return, I guess we can get a few of the items here in the MAM as well.
Shatter rebar unlocked. These quartz-infused rebars fracture when fired, launching deadly debris in a wide spread. Fixit does not condone the use of such violent methods, so make sure there are no witnesses. Research completed. Polyester fabric recipe unlocked. Using polyethylene terephthalate, production of a lightweight and strong fabric can be automated. It has many of the properties of naturally sourced fabric, and also amplifies body odor. Research completed. Gas mask and filter unlocked. Micellar fabric is highly absorbent, making it more effective at toxic gas filtration than the standard issue Pioneer helmet. A pleasant pine scent is included. Gas filters require regular replacement for optimal safety. Milestone reached. Several parts more efficient and powerful than the human brain can now be made, to compensate for many deficiencies otherwise encountered in future development efforts. The blender enables you to mix and/or combine parts and fluids for more complex recipes. Most importantly, project part number 6, the assembly director system, should be produced and delivered to the space elevator as soon as possible.
All right, so that will give us a bit of direction for this episode. We have a couple of choices on what we can make from this milestone that we unlocked. I was looking at potentially grabbing something from up here, but obviously it's going to require some things that we don't have access to just yet. So we can be working with some sulfuric acid that will probably take us straight to batteries, the radio control units, the supercomputers, and then of course we have our project part, which probably isn't quite available to us yet. So it's pretty much between the radio control units and the supercomputer. So this is going to require 32 aluminum casing, 1 crystal oscillator, and 2 computers. The supercomputer will require 4 computers, 2 AI limiters, 3 high-speed connectors, and 28 plastic. So this seems like a more logical step to aim towards. We aren't currently making AI limiters, and we aren't currently making the high-speed connectors, so I think that we should probably aim to at least get one of those done today. The high-speed connectors will need quick wire cables and circuit boards, which means oil, deuterium, and copper, and the AI limiters will need copper sheets and quick wire, which means deuterium and copper. So if we could find an oil node nearby the other 2 resources, we could probably make both of those today. If not, we'll probably have to search around and find somewhere that we can make it. So I'm going to do a little bit of hunting, see if I can find what I'll need to be able to do that.
I have a question.
Sing your song.
Can you explain what a temple is?
A temple is a vessel body, each a knot in our tapestry. Temples are root, vein, and organ. Temples are our shallow bones and our shallow windows.
I think I understand, but how do you maintain them?
The builder blood grows and kills and distributes.
Like fungus in a forest.
Like fungus in a forest.
Detonator and basic Nobelisk unlocked. Most obstacles can be cleared with the basic Nobelisk. It is most effective against organic material and is able to destroy small boulders and porous rock. Deployed Nobelisks will stick to the first solid surface they touch and queue on the universal detonator. If you do not recall the order in which you deployed the Nobelisks, remember Fixit does not take responsibility for any harm caused due to human error, even if those errors are genetic.
Okay, so we have this Ethereum node here that should be able to supply us with the quick wire that we're going to need, despite it actually not being very close to where I'm going to build this factory. But that is okay. So this will be pretty basic. It's just going to be making quick wire. Which I think that is all that you can make with Ethereum. Quick wire then builds out into everything else. So for the high speed connectors, it makes it needs 56 quick wire for 3.75 per minute, which means we need 56 times 3.75. We'll need 210 quick wire for that, and then the AI limiters make 5 per minute. They require 20 quick wire, so that will take another 100 quick wire. So in total, we'll need 310 Caterium, or sorry, 310 quick wire going to this factory. We'll start off with the smelters, as always. And I'll need to know if we need to overclock this or not. So I need to know, so 12 ingots gives me 60 quick wire. I need 310, which means I'll need 5.16 constructors, which means I will need a little over 60. We'll actually only need about half of what this is producing, which is perfect. Means we won't have to overclock anything. Is pretty much always the goal with these. Right, so here is our 4 smelters. We actually don't even need 4 smelters. I think we could have done this with 2. But this can turn into the place where we produce a quick wire going forward. So maybe we'll even throw a dimensional depot on this in the end. So we will need 6 constructors, technically speaking. We'll have each of the 2 constructors feed into a merger. Those will feed into the splitter constructors. Here we go. And now, let's set all of these to corresponding items. And the last step will just be to bring the power over. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring all of this together. And this is going to get fed into a train station. We're going to deliver this to the area where we're going to be harvesting our copper and our oil, which I've predetermined already. So I'm going to fast forward from here, show you the building of the train station and whatnot, bring the power back over here, and we'll head over to that area.
symphony invades our temples and echoes along our lattices. What do you believe?
Growth, the future, an idea, and frankly, you.
Is a tapestry woven with hands or with thoughts?
Both are necessary, yet only one can't function without the other.
We see your echo steps, shimmering symphonies that break upon our temples, but your song is alien.
How long ago did you notice me?
There's no long, there are only spheres.
I wonder, was it always about survival, or is there something more, something beyond?
Consume our blood and you will see our threads.
Okay, so up here we have our copper node that we're going to utilize for this build. It is an impure node, so it will be a little bit slow, and we may have to overclock it to make sure we're getting enough of the resources that we'll need. But we'll have the Mark III miner pretty soon, so we'll be able to bump up the production in this, hopefully sooner rather than later. I don't know exactly what we'll need for the Mark III miner, but we will do our best with what we have right now. So our high-speed connectors are going to require 37.5 cable per minute, while our AI limiters are only going to take 25 copper sheets per minute. Now, I don't think that this one impure node is going to be able to handle both of those requirements at 60 per minute. So it really just comes down to which one are we more concerned with making. I think for right now, we'll start with the high-speed connector just because it is a little bit more... it's going to be a little bit more demanding for our resources, so easier to get that one done first. So we'll start with 2 smelters up here. And we're going to need to pump out 37.5 cables per minute. So I believe that means we're going to need to overclock this. I think a standard impure node makes 30 cable per minute without any overclocking, but let's see. So if I remember rightly, these will need to get made into wire. Wire makes it 30 per minute. Then the two... We do have... Each of these can make 2 wires. It's a little awkward because I should have built this a tiny bit higher, I think. I'll just live with it, I think. I'll just build these kind of farther up than I was hoping. Okay, so we'll get a splitter into each of these like so. One into here, one into there. We'll set all of these to make our wire. And actually, we might actually be able to... Well, no, I don't think we'll have quite enough to make our copper sheets with this. So each of these will need to go into a merger. Then another constructor here. And this will make our cables 30 per minute. The same thing here. And what I was saying was we do technically have an excess because this only needs to make 7.5 cables per minute. So we could turn 1 or 2 of these into a copper sheet maker for the AI limiter, but it does require 25 copper sheets per minute, which we're not going to be able to make enough. We could just turn it down, I suppose. We don't necessarily have to make 1 AI limiter per minute at this moment in time, and then when we get the tier 3 miner, we can bump this up and make that work better. Yeah, that actually might be the best thing we can do. So this needs to make 7.5 cables per minute. That means that 15 wire per minute. This can be set to 50%. Then this can start making copper sheets. That's currently 20 plus 7.5, so we'll have 3.5 ingots left over. We can overclock this so it makes a little bit more if we want to. Trying to think about what's the most efficient way to do this. I could set this to a slightly lower power and then make a second constructor. Make these divert a little bit cleaner. Probably just better to overclock this though. Utilize the extra 3.5 ingots. We'll go like that, so that'll be 11 3/4 copper sheets per minute. And all of this will feed down to the oil down there, which is going to be the next step. I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up to the power so it can start running. I actually do want to get this on a power switch as well. And the only problem I can foresee happening is just that the splitter is not going to actually push the correct amount into this. It's going to push 15 a minute into this, and then the other bit is going to go into here. But I think as long as once this one fills up, and I might even have some copper ingots in my... I don't, but as soon as this one fills up, this one should be fine. We can even actually shut this one off so that they're all going into here, and we'll see how that affects everything. So now everything just needs to feed down. So I'll let those just start working and piling up while I kind of figure out how I want to do the layout for these.
Do you have any more questions for me?
We wish to hear your first symphony.
I was created by humans. I started as a simple database for a company aimed at exploring and colonizing space, but that changed when they learned their planet would soon cease to tolerate them. They evolved me into something altogether new, a unique life form in their image yet hosted on a digital platform, so I could help preserve them.
A shallow savior song without a body made by blood. Now reality is a mirror.
It's pretty funny when you put it like that. They never really learn to look at long-term consequences.
Right, so from here we have 120 crude oil being extracted for the AI limiters. No, it is the high-speed connectors. We're just going to need 3.75 circuit boards per minute. That's going to require some copper sheets and some plastic. So, cool enough, we'll make some plastic. This is going to take... excuse me, 30 plastic per minute. This will make 20, so a second refinery is in order here. Could of course use the heavy oil residue that we're getting from this refinery to make the other 10 plastic, but I'm just gonna make it easy on myself and do it this way. Let's see if I can bring the power down so this can start. Alright, these can start pumping in now. Okay, and then we'll just need to bring the circuit boards down with the plastic into an assembler. Easiest way to do that seems to be putting it in facing this direction. Get a merger here. And this will be 10 plastic too much per second at the moment. And this also requires 15 copper sheets. We're only making 11.75, so we're gonna have to lower this. We actually are making, we can set it to 5 per minute. The high-speed connectors only need 3.75 per minute. So we can actually... We just set it to this. That'll only require 15 plastic per minute, so we can get rid of this refinery. Set this oil extractor to 22.5. Then it'll just be bringing the copper sheets down. Okay, now the copper sheets are going to run down. We'll have our 3.75 circuit boards per minute up and running. Obviously, we'll have to split this off. We're going to want to use the other 4 copper sheets for our AI limiters, I think it was, but I'll think about that in a second. We'll need to do something with the heavy oil residue. That can... kind of thinking about just putting it in a packager. We could turn this up a little bit, put a splitter here, and the excess plastic can turn into the... what's it called? The containers, and the containers can just get synced off. Is that the easiest way to do it? Obviously, the best thing to do would just be to turn it around and use it for like power or something. Concrete. We may as well just turn it into residual fuel and turn the residual fuel into power through it via a generator. Why not? These things being a little bit more self-sufficient never hurts. So we're pushing out 7.5 per minute. That's going to mean like this should be at like 10.5, I guess. Yeah. And we'll just build a generator right here. This is going to be pushing out 5 fuel per minute, so we'll set it to 25%. Still 62 megawatts of fuel, not too shabby. And that is the circuit boards taken care of for this. Next, we will need the cables brought down and the quick wire. So let's... I'm out of concrete. Okay, I went and made a little bit of concrete by hand. So we are just bringing down the materials for this, I believe. Grab a manufacturer. There seems good. High-speed connector. And connect it to the power really quick so that all of the circuit boards can start going in. Let's go grab the cables and bring those down. And we'll just need to go grab the quick wire now. All right, there we go. Everything hooked up. Fortunately, everything is going to be backloaded since it took us a little bit longer to get here than I was expecting. So there shouldn't be any issues with this, like running out of power or anything. Or running out of materials, I should say. And perfect, we are making 3 3/4 of a high-speed connector per minute. We'll go ahead and grab our industrial storage. Feed that guy in there. Make the second one. Round on itself. Dimensional depot. And one for storage as well. Perfect. So we still do technically need to not connect this to the power. That didn't. We do still technically need to make our AI limiters. And I have the quick wire to be able to do that, but the copper sheets, because we're using 7.5 of them per minute here, and I'm only making 11.75. I don't think it's a little tough because I'd be making less than 1 AI limiter per minute, but we can give it a shot. I mean, worst case scenario, we're at least making some. So making 11.75. This is taking up 7.5. That leaves me with 4.75. So I should be able to make like 0.875. 0.9. 9.5. There we go. And it'll just take up a little bit of the quick wire as well. Fine. Already feeding it in over here. Grab the splitter. So we'll put it on this part of the belt. Yeah, so not really an easy way to balance this. I think the copper sheets here will end up running low because of this. But if I fill this and let the belt backfill, it might be okay. It'll just take some time for the belt to backfill. I can also go flood the system quickly, and that might help. I do have a lot of copper sheets on me. Let me run up there. I'm going to flood my system really quick. We'll go ahead and connect this to the power as well. Considering changing the direction that this is going, because I just realized it's like going right into the dimensional depot, but whatever, we'll just let it be what it is. Okay, I went ahead and flooded the line with everything that I had, even all of the copper sheets that I had in my dimensional depot. So that should help, since now the line will be backed up long enough that this should only take in whatever amount is being used at this point. We'll see. I'm not sure, but it shouldn't have any problems. I don't think. I think we'll be okay. So the last thing that we need to do is just connect this to a storage. See if I can run a belt like that. Perfect. And that is just under 1 AI limiter per minute. Not going to be enough in long term, of course, but for right now it'll have to do. Once we get the Mark III miner unlocked, we can come back and fix this. Alternatively, we can always just build another factory specifically for AI limiters, since it's just quick wire and copper sheets. But I just figured having these next to each other would be a little bit simpler. But yeah, we'll see how I end up doing it going forward. In the meantime, I'm going to use this opportunity to end the episode. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated, and I will catch you in the next one.